I'm being harassed en masse on various platforms across the internet and have been for a year. Let's get into a little bit of it. My Instagram of like a decade got deleted around New Year's. I think that was on Meta. So I have a new one. Somebody found my new Instagram and was like, hey, remember when a Jewish person asked you what your disability was and you called them a Nazi and never apologized? They said, do you remember when this happened on your old Instagram account? No, I don't. I remember hundreds and hundreds and hundreds of people asking me what my disability is, insisting that I explain my disability, insisting that I'm faking disabilities, insisting that I'm not disabled enough to not have a job or to ask for help, and so forth. I remember a lot of people calling me slurs, telling me I should die in so many words, and so forth. If somebody randomly commented on one of my videos, if they didn't lead with, I'm Jewish, what's your disability? Then how am I supposed to know that they're Jewish? First of all, I'm just trying to break down how this comment was a trap. Second of all, I'm not going to apologize for calling somebody a Nazi who is doing eugenics. I was much more reactionary back then than I am now, and we are so grateful for it, and I'm on a path to becoming even less reactionary, which we are so grateful for. It's not productive to be reactionary, it's actually lashing out and trying to hurt people who are hurting me, which just reinforces like fascism, you know? And I don't want to do that. I want to build a better world. So I've been working on myself to try to be less reactionary. And I respond to comments like this to try to edify and clarify and move us more toward that better world that I believe that we can make and that we deserve. If you're doing eugenics, you're a Nazi in my mind. I understand the distinction. A lot of people think you can only be a Nazi if you're a member of the Nazi party in Germany, which is ridiculous because there's lots of Nazis in, say, the United States where I live. And again, if you are actively weaponizing eugenics, which is what this person was referencing, you are doing Nazism. You're doing work for Nazis. You are aligning yourself with Nazis. And that's what that is. If you are insisting that somebody prove their disability, prove that they are disabled enough to ask for help, to get help with the needs that they have to stay alive, if you think somebody has to work in order to be able to be considered a valid human being and to get their needs met that they need to stay alive, you are doing eugenics. You have designed a standard, created a standard. You are aligning with a standard of what it means to be human and what it means to not be human. Who deserves resources and who doesn't? Who deserves to survive, perpetuate the species, and who doesn't? At the end of the day, you guys don't know what Nazism is. You don't know what fascism is. You don't know what eugenics is. You think it's just the Holocaust and like German scientists in basements with twins. But if you decide that somebody is not human and does not deserve help or support or to get their needs met, or if you decide that they don't live up to your standard of what it is to be a person and be accepted into community and get their needs met, you are doing eugenics. Going out of your way, especially to harass someone, stalk someone, abuse someone, because they don't live up to your standard of being a person, is weaponizing eugenics. I am being harassed en masse across various platforms and have for over a year because people don't want me to exist. They don't want me to talk about my experiences. They don't like what I have to say. They don't want me to talk about the system and how it's broken and destroying all of our lives. People don't want to see a disabled person advocate for themselves because they don't want to see disabled people. They don't want to deal with the fact that disabled people exist and don't get their needs met. People are so entrenched in these forced, made-up hierarchies that they will hurt everyone they possibly can to try to remain a member of the in-group that will very, very readily chuck them to the fucking side of the road, chuck them into the ditch, chuck them into an early grave if they don't conform to the standards in those made-up hierarchies. That includes having a job, being able to have a job, being able-bodied, being skinny, being white, being male. Like, I'm not going to apologize for calling somebody who is harassing me with eugenics a Nazi, because at the end of the day, what's the fucking difference? No one has apologized to me for abusing me for over a year, harassing me, stalking me, causing active trauma, doxing me, spreading disinformation about me that could get me killed, telling me to kill myself, calling me slurs, telling me I'm not worthy of survival or getting my needs met, tell me I am not worthy of being considered a human being, in as many words. I have some things to apologize for, and I do. I take accountability when I'm in the wrong. But telling somebody who is doing eugenics that they're a Nazi, if the boot fucking fits in your mouth. Anyway, I'm really sick right now. I got really adrenalized by this comment. So here's a 5-minute video. I'm gonna have my information on screen. My brother and I need help with medication and food and other essentials. We're human beings, you see, and we need help surviving. So if you're not a Nazi, if you don't align with Nazism, if you don't like eugenics, help us out however you can.